Speaking of investigations, there's a high-profile one in Washington. It's the latest thing to pit Democrats against Republicans.
That's right. They're at odds over who should look into the leaks of highly classified information. Now, Congresswoman Blackburn is here to talk about that and her own report into another issue involving the TSA. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Of course, we do want to start off with the leaks. I'd like to know why you think the White House is leaking its own secrets.
Well, we want to find out if they are or if they are not. And the preliminary information that we have would lead you to believe that someone has purposely put these components of our nation's security policy into the public arena, and it should be of concern to every single American. You know, we hear a lot about 4 different issues: jobs, the economy, what is going to happen with Obamacare, and how do we keep this country safe. And people should be very concerned that there is lack of respect being shown to those that are involved in our intelligence community, and information is being revealed that should not be revealed.
One big issue is how it's being investigated. Attorney General Holder appointed U.S. attorneys who, of course, are appointed in their positions. So there's some question about whether that's appropriate. It is a little unusual, is it not, that a special prosecutor hasn't been named?
It is. You're exactly right, Mary Beth, and that is what has people kind of saying, now wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know, because you need an independent investigator to come in and look at this. This is incredibly serious, and this is something that does put our entire nation at risk. There have been some who've called for Holder to resign over that decision. I have felt that.
Are you at that point, or?
I think there are so many different things that have happened during this tenure that it calls into question the Attorney General and his leadership of our Department of Justice, whether it is the Fast and Furious investigation, whether it is what has transpired around these leaks, and are they trying to cover it up, what all has transpired with the Department of Energy, and some of the emails and the back and forth.
So you think it's time for him
I would say, if I were someone advising this president, I would say, how does someone serve this country well? Because the goal is to protect the citizens of this country. That is the oath. We protect our Constitution, we protect the citizens, and then you have to begin to ask that question.
Okay, switching gears, of course, we know that you did an investigation regarding TSA policies of hiring. I do want to ask you, I know that you said that you had received complaints from your district about TSA workers. What were some of those complaints that prompted the investigation to begin with?
We started looking at what was transpiring with the TSA because we were hearing from moms and dads and business travelers and grandmothers and all sorts of people about the overreach of the TSA, their aggressiveness, and how they were conducting their searches as individuals were come through the airport. So because of this, we started looking at what was transpiring, whether it was the Memphis airport or the Nashville airport or some of the others that are around. What we found out through this report was that TSA was indeed overstepping their bounds. They have gone from being customer service reps dressed in work shirts and khaki pants to now wearing federal law enforcement uniforms. By the way, they have 0 federal law enforcement training.
And doesn't this, I mean, because we talked about national security just a moment ago, they're at the front door.
That's right. See, and this is why we went on and did the investigation, because looking at what had transpired with the TSA, assuming authority, then we started looking at the people that were filling those positions, because they only get like 80 hours of training before they're put out for some on-the-job training, and they're wearing these law enforcement uniforms. What we found out was TSA is advertising at discount gas stations and on pizza boxes for people to come and be an airport security screener. We found numerous people who money laundering, drugs, impersonating federal officers. The background checks are not being done
So what would you do to fix it? What would be your solution to the issues that TSA are having right now?
And it's reflected in my report that is at my website, blackburn.house.gov. Here's what you need to do. Number one, TSA needs to get out of the human resource business. They are failing at this. They've not caught one terrorist. They've not assisted in catching any terrorists. They have no law enforcement training. If something does occur at one of our checkpoints, they have to call the airport police because they have no authority. The other things that you want to do, remove these TSA service agents from being called officers and return them to what Congress intended. Airport security screeners that are there to assist the traveling public. They are customer service reps. Return them to that. Make certain that the airport police have a live security feed into those check areas so that when something does happen, they are right there. And then make certain that TSA does not leave the airports and go out onto our nation's highways and bus systems, which has happened, and they are not authorized to be out there randomly conducting checks. They do not act on actionable intelligence. These are people that are impersonating federal officers, wearing federal law enforcement uniforms, and they can come, they can stop you randomly, search your bags, search you, take you off of a bus, detain you from getting on a metro system for no reason, just simply because they decided to search you.
Very much at the forefront of this issue, and thank you. We will continue to watch that because we're seeing more and more stories.
Yes, we are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Marsha Blackburn, and she gave her website as well, so go there and read the entire report. It'll frighten you.